I say the same thing twice, I'm awkward when I speak. Ain't got the perfect smile, don't turn heads on my street. Trying to be a superstar like everybody.
They're good at it done. When they get those guys back, that definitely makes them seem like a dangerous team. I think they're going to make the playoffs.
I believe they're as good as any out there. The defense is as good as it comes, and then I really believe they can go far in the conference, even this year.
The altitude to mess with your body, and then on top of that, if you had some marijuana in there, well, you're going to be in real trouble.
The way I look at it is, I don't have any problem with it at all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever and whenever you are watching this show. I am the voice of the people, Clay Hurlbut, and with me is a panel that is so special, so much different from all others. Michael Brown.
I feel very special.
Cujo Ahmed-Blabe.
No, I'm already special.
And Jason Doro.
Glad to be back, Clay.
Please excuse me for my weird accent and my stuffy nose and just the way that my voice is being presented today. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm a die in the treadmill type of guy, so I'm going to do this show no matter what. So with that, let's get started into the NFL MVP. This is a passionate topic for many on the panel. Guys, we'll start with you. We'll start with you, Michael. Who is your NFL MVP right now?
No one else knows? It's Adrian Peterson. I mean, he's only got 506 yards to beat Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. How likely is that? We don't know. But, I mean, I just think 8 months after tearing his ACL, I just think it's a given. And how well he's played. I mean,
hold on. Let me stop you right there. Who cares if he tore his ACL? That doesn't win you the award for the MVP.
All right, here's what. All right. That would give him the comeback player of the year.
What if his mama got hurt? Should that give him the award for the MVP?
But here's the thing. The Vikings have a very one-dimensional offense, and you've got one thing to do when you get off the bus coming into Minnesota. You've got to stop Adrian Peterson. We can stick 9 in the box. You can stick 10 in the box. But you still can't stop Adrian Peterson. And that's why I think he's the most valuable to his team, and he's played very well this season. I think that Peyton Manning's had players around him to get the job done, and Adrian Peterson is just a one-man show. So I think it's as simple as that.
As much as I want to make a case for Tom Brady and Peyton Manning with the great story, like 4 neck surgeries and coming back and doing things he's doing, Peterson is just out of this world. I don't know any athlete. I'm not even sure LeBron could have done this. I don't know any athlete. I don't know any athlete in sports right now. ACL surgery, less than 9 months, comes back and have the season he's having. Dominate the game like he's doing. It's amazing to watch this guy play. And the thing that's sad is his team could be number 1 in NFC right now if we just had a decent a good enough quarterback.
I wouldn't go that far. I would not go that far.
What is wrong with you?
Understand what I'm saying.
You're outside your
No. Tell me another team that has.
I lost my shit.
No. Tell me another team.
No.
Just listen. Tell me another team that has this great of a running game, and that does not transfer over to the passing game.
Defense also isn't that good, so don't tell me about how they.
A quarterback still doesn't make their passing game great. Look at their receivers.
How are you going to do this to me? Come up here when you know I'm sick and you're making it worse by that preposterous statement.
No. It's not preposterous. I'm actually making the case here that Peterson means a lot to his team, and Peyton Manning's got a great defense, like you said, a great running game, and he's got other players.
Great defense. I never said he had a great defense.
Tom Brady has all the best receivers in the NFL. The tight ends, he's just out of this world. And, they have a great coach. And Peterson's doing it all alone. Nobody else on the Vikings is doing anything. And so my MVP has to go to him. Props to the guy. He's the only one showing up on Sundays. Only one.
So,
sorry, he
let me
is.
ask you a question. So if you're the best player in a bad team, that says you should be the MVP.
They're not a bad team, though. They've got 7 wins right now.
They're not going to the playoffs, so they're not a good team.
Your Bears, all right, Clay?
First of all, don't be changing the subject. We're here to talk about the NFL MVP. I'm asking you a question, so answer it.
Yeah, I just said Peterson is the MVP.
Well, the thing is,
yes,
if
I know.
the Vikings don't make the playoffs, that makes him almost valueless. Because it was just a season that we went 9-7, 8-8, whatever.
But that's not fair.
Where the value?
It's not fair.
Yeah, you know,
he still had a great season.
Fair is a place where they judge pigs. The world is not fair.
Well, I mean, this is sports. All right,
it's not fair.
Don't make that comparison to whatever you just did.
Fair. If it was fair, then the Heisman wouldn't have been the Offensive Player of the Year award, which Johnny Manziel got.
Yeah. Okay, I think this race is a lot. It's a lot closer than you two make it out to be. I think between Peterson, Brady, and Manning, they all still have a chance. We got 3 weeks left still. Mm-hmm. Right now, I'd probably pick Adrian Peterson though. 1,600 yards. That's 300 plus more than anyone else in the league has. In a league that's become so dependent on the passing game, and they're loading the box against him, and he's still doing this. It's amazing. Yeah. But still, Tom Brady, 29 TDs and only 4 picks, just blew out Houston. I think he's awfully close right there.
Well, what team do you guys cheer for?
Minnesota Vikings.
That is correct.
Speak for yourselves.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Speak for yourselves.
Okay, Cujo's a bandwagon.
Just don't say Jay Cutler.
We invented the bandwagon segment because of Cujo.
Thanks for that. Thanks.
I think, honestly, Adrian Peterson probably deserves the MVP 13 games into the season, which is a big deal because if you have 3 games left, personally, I think the Rams will shut him down on Sunday. I really do.
Shut him down.
Oh, boy.
Shut him down.
Yes.
Boy.
Yes.
The
wow. I want to see
bold
this.
prediction. There we go.
Yes.
There you go.
There it
They're
is.
going
That
to
is
shut
bold.
him down.
That is bold.
So, well, my point is right to this point in the season, I think he is the MVP. But I don't know if he'll necessarily win it. But your guys' arguments, besides Cujo and Michael, your arguments, both of them stunk. Because you said it was because he's the only player in his team doing anything. That doesn't make him the MVP.
Yeah, it kind of does. That's
no, that doesn't. It's supposed to be who's having the best season. Who's having the best season? If you're going off of value, then
that's what it means. Most valuable, Clay.
If you're going off of value, then we could talk about Jay Cutler. But I'm not going to say he is because I don't.
Come on.
It's not all about value.
Do you listen to yourself?
If you really want to go off of value, then you got to look at their salaries and then see who's producing off of that. But nobody does that. It's not really off of value. That's the name of the award. The award is supposed to be off of who's having the best season.
That's
correct.
Value is market value. What is their market value?
That's helping your team, right?
What?
Best season. Whoever won is having the best season. That's helping
who's having the best season? I think so far, right? Adrian Peterson has had the best season.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings obviously are god awful in the passing game. Christian Ponder, you might as well stick Krebs there at quarterback. I mean, he can't throw. Christian Ponder can't throw.
Wow.
Honestly, he's one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. All they'd have to have is an average quarterback, and might be able to make the playoffs. They don't even have that. And then you look at the fact that the receivers can't catch. And the only reason, I mean, I guess their defense played well last week, but it was more so because of the refs for my.
Mm-hmm. So is this the most valuable team award or the most valuable player award?
My point is he's the most valuable player.
Yes.
But I'm saying you don't just go off pick the person off of value, because then you got to look at how much they're getting paid compared to everybody else. Nobody does that.
On the field, though. Exactly. Forget the pin.
On the field, he's had the best season so far, so I'll vote for him. Yeah. But we're not going to decide in week 13 anyways.
Yeah. Well,
week 14.
Sure seems like it. But
see these next 3 games. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up being Brady.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah,
he'll probably end the season.
They always like the quarterbacks.
Unlikely Vikings make the playoffs.
Now we want to get into a real serious topic. Should college athletes, big-time Division I athletes, should they be compensated for the money that they earn for the school? We do live in a capitalist society, so it's a very valid topic. Jason, we'll start with you.
I think that there should be some kind of compensation that they should receive. I think the NCAA, though, has to cap it. It's already out of hand. I mean, we've seen Reggie Bush got stripped of his Heisman a couple years ago. Ohio State football team got a bunch of sanctions. But I mean, the NCAA just signed a new contract with CBS for March Madness, $10.8 billion.
Wow.
And players, I mean, they're getting a great education at universities, but they should get more. They should get more beyond that.
Education. They all leave before it's over.
Right.
Well,
they don't get all their diplomas. But
and I'm just saying, there's some good value in that. But when that kind of money is on the table, these guys have to be getting paid something.
All right. All I have to say is they're basically slaves. Not like in the same terms that the original slaves.
You did not just drop the slaves.
Yes.
Oh.
Really? Not the original slaves, but the definition of slave. Working earning money for your owner and not getting anything back. They're basically not getting anything back. Scholarship is crap.
Let me ask you a question.
How much money is your scholarship?
It's
not worth anything.
To pay down the school, it can be valued to like $120,000, so they're not slaves.
And you're not getting any of it. You're not getting any of it.
No, you are, because you're getting a full ride.
All right, tell me. There's the same thousands of kids that go to that college that pay thousands of dollars, and they don't pay anything. They just have to make it by paying for their food.
If you're putting your body online, getting on the field, getting hit, you could get injured and have your whole career be done. So risking all that. All the money you're making. All the money you're making for the colleges, the universities. Who's getting that money? The directors, the
university goes in the program.
Yeah, but how much of it? A lot of the money is going to somebody's pocket. You can't lie to yourselves. A lot of it's actually going to somebody's pocket. I mean, it's a good enough money to help the school, and all that, but. If the kids are not getting anything back, it's basically slavery, the definition, not the original slavery. The definition.
Brown.
All right, well, I don't think they should get a salary or anything. I mean, why would anyone play pro? They just play college then.
Just not as much money.
I mean, but here's the thing. There's players, like back when Michigan, the Fab Five, when they don't have any money, and all they do is make bank on them. And you have players that are broke. To a football player, what is the however many 19 meal tickets they get a week or 14?
Right.
What does that do for them, for a 300-pound lineman? I mean, it's nothing. They should have some spending money. They should have some kind of program, but they should not be getting paid millions. I mean,
no, not millions. That's not what I meant.
Let me ask you a question.
No. Yes.
I'm not saying necessarily they should be paid millions, but who's to say they shouldn't be? Because since when have we lived in a socialist country? We live in a capitalist society where you're supposed to be able to capitalize off of your talents. Yeah. And this is one of the only cases I've ever seen in my life where they don't even get to capitalize off of being talented. The rich presidents do. Yeah. And if you notice the teams that win, like University of Miami, they used to always say every national title they'd win, enrollment costs would go up, there'd be more kids wanting to go to Miami, and there'd be buildings popping up everywhere. And they looked at it and they're like, yeah, I guess we did that. It's just an unjust system to me.
Yeah, I think this even relates back to when we talked about one and dones. I think this ties in a lot with that. Yeah. If you took out that rule and said high school players can go straight to the NBA, then go ahead and take advantage of that capitalist society, or go to college. And I think they should still get paid something.
It's easy for everyone to say they're collegiate. We're the only country in the world that's like this. Where you're like a collegiate athlete until you're 21 or 22. It's stupid, and it's based on something that was relevant a long time ago.
Yeah, that's the only way they think they can make the money off and not look so bad. And obviously, it's still very obvious that all the money, all the benefits that the players are getting to the colleges and universities, all of it's going to the board and all the other people at the head and all that. But the players are not getting anything back, and they're broke. They want some pocket money. They gotta find a way to fund these kids. Come on, they're making all this money for you. For God's sake, you have something left to actually distribute. Help them have something.
Cujo, though, I don't know if they get nothing. They do get a full ride at a typically very expensive school, which other kids wouldn't get. But they earn and I shouldn't even say about Division I athletes. It should really be like the football players and maybe the basketball. Those are the only things that earn. The football program earns money for everything. Yeah. But because of the stupid Title IX Act that they passed, which was supposed to help everybody out, every dollar has to be equal going into football and every other sport, which is totally against what capitalism is supposed to be about. So I thought we were supposed to be a free market approach, but I guess not. With that, we're going to move in to the college bowl picks. It is college bowl season. This will be our last show until all the bowl games start. So we're going to start by talking about the Las Vegas Bowl. You got Washington versus Boise State. Michael, we'll start with you.
I like Boise State in this one. I mean, I don't know a lot about these teams. I don't like Washington's coming off a tough loss against Washington State, and I just don't think they're going to have enough with a well-coached Boise State team led by Coach Peterson.
Yeah, Peterson is He's got one of the best records in college football since like 2000. Ever since he went to Boise State, and I mean that team is just loaded. Granted, they don't have Doug Martin or Kellen Moore anymore, but still have other great players, you know. And I got to pick Boise State here. I don't have Washington doing it a whole lot in this game.
Yeah, you guys are right. Boise State's really slipped under the radar this season, especially with that early loss in the season. With that, I'm going to pick Keith Price in Washington. I think UW's going to pull it out with not on the blue turf. So,
well,
I think Washington on paper is definitely the more talented team. But for some reason, Boise State really gets up for these bowl games more than everybody else. It seems like every year they're winning their bowl games. So I'm going to go with Boise State, but I think Washington is the better team on paper. Let's move into the Holiday Bowl. You got Baylor versus UCLA, Big 12, Pac-12 matchup. Jason, we'll start with you.
UCLA coming off that tough loss in the Pac-12 championship. I think they'll make up for it here and win the Holiday Bowl against Baylor.
Yeah, I have Baylor winning this game because coming off that Kansas State win, and I think they have confidence right now. And UCLA had a chance to like be in Rose Bowl if they beat Stanford.
Yeah,
but
been a home game.
They slipped in that game, and they're just down right now. And Baylor's going to take advantage. Baylor wins.
I like UCLA. I mean, Jim Moore has been doing great things with this UCLA program that was down so far a year ago. And I think they capitalize, get a bowl win to just put a capital W on that first season of Coach Moore.
I'm going to go with UCLA also. I think they played Stanford tough, definitely the second time. The first time didn't matter. So they were really close to winning that game. Baylor, to me, hasn't been that great the whole year. They really had only one good game against Kansas State that salvaged their season. So I think UCLA is the better team and they'll win. They also have more to play for because even if they lost out on being in the Rose Bowl, this is their first year with Jim Mora. They've been mediocre at best in years past, and this is for a chance for them to end the year on a positive note. We're going to move into the Meineke Care Bowl of Texas. Who decided we were going to talk about this? I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a horrible game.
Minnesota versus Texas Tech. Yikes. I wonder who wanted to talk about the Gophers. Michael, we'll start with you.
Well, yikes. That's what I'm going to say first off. Minnesota, ever since A.J. Barker's left,
oh my Lord,
it's been brutal. They can't generate any offense.
They were brutal with him, bro.
I like
A.J. Barker.
Bro,
all right, tell me.
He's not the difference maker in that.
They were brutal with him.
Really? All right, really? You really think he was not anything? All right. When they played Purdue, he
was a human being. I'll give him that. He wasn't dust.
His biggest game, and they scored 44 points and everything. And in the second half,
they beat Purdue.
A.J. Barker didn't play.
Whoa.
And then all of a sudden, Philip Nelson can't throw a forward pass.
So Philip Nelson is a freshman.
Been all right.
He's right.
Tell me what he's done ever since that Purdue game. He has not done one single thing.
A.J. Barker is
don't put A.J. Barker on this. No.
All right. Well, I'm telling you,
we already spent too much time on the Gophers.
It's Texas Tech.
Cujo,
Seth
Diggy
just crushes them.
I can't pick the Gophers. The Gophers? No. Texas Tech win big. I just gotta laugh. The Gophers.
I know this is a huge spread in this game for Texas Tech, but I think I'm going to pick Minnesota. Philip Nelson.
Wow.
Philip Nelson is going to lead them into a new era here.
He has not done
Jerry
anything.
Kill
in the
gets
last
the
3
W.
games. Just nothing. I don't see
some
anything.
of the things that you guys say is
Minnesota.
to me is just unbelievable. I mean, Minnesota is garbage.
They're horrible.
They won 4 games against crappy teams in non-conference like New Mexico.
Syracuse.
I guarantee you.
They're in a bowl.
Syracuse in a bowl game.
What conference do they play in?
The Big East.
That's what I thought. The Big East is garbage.
I agree.
And Minnesota is just so bad. I mean, who's this? I would like to apologize to the world because I was not here on Monday when we went over the topic. Otherwise, I guess I didn't look at it. This never would have made it into discussion because the Gophers just stink. They stink up the joint. And don't give me about A.J. Barker.
All right.
If he was so good, why hasn't he transferred to a great school already?
Because he's soft. He's simple as that. He's soft. Coach Kill yells at him a little bit. He's like, okay, I'm quitting the team.
A soft guy was your best player.
So that means he's amazing.
Now he's soft.
So a soft guy was your best player?
He went soft on us. He went soft on us.
He's always been soft. He played for the Gophers. Everybody on the team.
Yeah, he was leading the Big Ten in touchdowns.
They're about to. I got Texas Tech 472-0. I don't know why we're going to move on to the Pinstripe Bowl. West Virginia versus Syracuse. Brownie, we'll start with you.
Oh, this is not a tough one at all. West Virginia, easily. Geno Smith might throw for 500 yards this game.
Yeah. I think West Virginia blows Syracuse right at the stadium.
I don't know why.
It's not even a contest.
Why are we talking about this game? I mean, West Virginia's been garbage since the first 5 games of the season.
Okay, and they'd still beat the Gophers by 40 points.
Okay, they would. But the Gophers beat Syracuse, and we just talked about how bad the Gophers are. Oh, okay. With all that,
right down the chain.
West Virginia, Geno Smith takes care of business in New York.
I look at it like this. Syracuse lost to Minnesota, so they must be awful. I have not cared to watch them all year, simply because I'd rather watch paint dry. So I'm going to go with West Virginia. They'll probably win big. And remember, Geno Smith will have a big day. And Syracuse is garbage. I mean, if you lose to Minnesota, something is clearly wrong with your team. You got to look. You got to have a state of the program conference or something about, what are we doing wrong because we lost to Minnesota. There's something wrong with your program.
They got like a pep talk for them.
Yeah. That game's in Yankee Stadium if it interests you at all.
That's
home game.
So that's legit to watch. West Virginia just go and trounce on them.
Yeah. I dare you to beat
the Alamo Bowl. Texas versus Oregon State. Jason, we'll start with you.
Oregon State, I got them Beavers. They got a good passing game. I think they'll take care of business against Longhorns.
Yeah, if McCoy starts, I don't think Texas will win. But
I don't trust any of the quarterbacks.
Oregon State should win this pretty easily. Oregon State.
Easily.
Yeah.
Oh my! I mean, I don't think I've seen Texas defense show up to one of their games this year. I mean.
No. Who's watched Texas?
I don't know.
I don't have the Longhorn Network, so I can't catch any of their games.
I don't know who gets
them. So Oregon State, I think they win by 10. Well, 10.
I'm not sad at all that I haven't watched Texas in those ugly uniforms they have.
Burnt orange.
Burnt orange. Oregon State should win this game. I don't think it'll be big because Texas has enough pride where they'll keep it close. So I think Oregon State, but it'll be kind of close. The Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl, definitely the tastiest bowls out of them all. Texas Christian University versus Michigan State, another bad one for the Big Ten. Jason, we'll start with you.
I flip-flopped in this one a little bit, but I came out with Michigan State Sparty. I think Le'Veon Bell, he's just a beast. I think Michigan State's going to pull it out.
Yeah, I agree with Jason here. Michigan State should win pretty decently. I haven't watched a whole lot of TCU ever since Andy Dalton left, but they're just not as good anymore. And Michigan State with that defense, they're gonna win this game defensively.
On paper, this game looks like if you would have looked at this at the beginning of the season, you would have thought this would have been a great game, top 20 matchup. But neither of these teams won a game at home over the course of their conference schedule.
That's brutal.
It's horrible. And Michigan State, I think they have the better defense. I think they hold it down. They were ranked 4th nationally at the end of the season. Yeah. So I like them.
Good thing we got a neutral site.
Yeah. Home team can't
I
win.
will. It's a tough one for me because I don't think either of these teams are that good. But TCU played Oklahoma pretty tough. I think Michigan State will win, actually, because they lost so many close games this year. They just couldn't find a way to get it done. But I think to salvage their season, they'll go in Buffalo Wild Wings and go and get the victory. And they'll probably have a nice rack of wings with some blue cheese on the side after.
Or maybe,
That's what I would do.
Maybe ranch.
The Chick-fil-A Bowl, LSU and Les Miles against Taj Boyd and Clemson. This is a good game. Michael, who do you got?
This one had me puzzled for a while, but I think I'm going to go with LSU.
Puzzled.
Clemson, you got Taj Boyd. Do they have Sammy Watkins? I haven't watched them that much this year. Sammy Watkins, he's gotten a little trouble in the offseason. I just like LSU with their solid defense that always shows up in the big games.
Yeah. Last year, Sammy Watkins had like one of the best freshman season, and it's been a drop off this season. Obviously, with all this stuff happening in him, and he's like, whatever. But LSU, LSU used to be this team that always destroy teams. When LSU plays anybody except Alabama most of the time, destroy them. And this year, I really don't know who you pick, but Clemson, I haven't seen a whole lot of them, and LSU should win. But it'd be a tough game, though. I think Clemson will give them a run for the money, but LSU will probably come out at the end with the win.
Like you guys said, those Clemson guys have been getting a little bit of trouble. Not the greatest of seasons, but I think LSU's defense is just too strong. They're too good. They'll pull it out.
I think the Honey Badgerless LSU Tigers will win. I trust their defense over Clemson's high-powered offense. I always trust defense over high-powered offense. So I think LSU will go in there. They'll shut down Taj Boyd, and should be a close game. Yeah. Low scoring, I look for it to be, because LSU's offense hasn't been very productive. Mettenberger, or whatever his name is, hasn't really impressed me. But LSU has a good run game, so they got that going for them. The Outback Bowl, South Carolina versus the Maize and Blue from Michigan. Jason, we'll start with you.
Well, I like that quarterback duo at Michigan, but I'm going to take the Gamecocks. I think watch out for primetime Ace Sanders. He'll make a big play, and South Carolina will win it. Yeah,
without Lattimore, I don't think South Carolina has a whole lot of things to do. Michigan should win this pretty convincingly with that two-headed quarterback system. Yeah, they have now. Yeah, Denard Robinson should have a pretty good running game and all that, but yeah, Michigan should win pretty decently.
South Carolina's a tough team, and that's why I think I like them to hang in there, get the win over Michigan out of the soft Big Ten.
I'd love to go with Michigan for this one, but I don't see any way they beat South Carolina. South Carolina's defensive line should overpower Michigan's offensive line. They should get a lot of pressure.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, yes, Jadeveon Clowney and the boys should overpower Michigan's offensive line. So we got to move quick. Cotton Bowl, Texas A&M versus Oklahoma. Brownie, we'll start with you.
Johnny Football gets it done. Finish the season with a W.
Oh yeah, obviously just coming up with that Heisman win. Oklahoma, no defense. Texas A&M, great offense. A&M wins big.
Jason.
Yeah, I agree. Oklahoma hasn't been very good this year. I don't think Texas A&M will win big, but I think they'll win it in the end.
All right, now we're gonna move into the Orange Bowl. Northern Illinois versus Florida State. Jason, who you got?
Oh, why are we picking this game? Florida State. Book it.
Really?
Book it.
No. Here's the thing. First of all, I'm already blinded by seeing Northern Illinois in that category right now. They should not be in the East Bowl.
Just pick who you think.
Florida State should win by like 20 points.
I'll one-up you. Florida State by 30.
Yeah, thank you.
Northern Illinois is going to go and win the game.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's that obvious.
That's really funny.
Okay.
They're going to pull off a miracle. They're going to shock the world, as Juwan Howard would like to say.
Okay. Do we need to pick Louisville, Florida, too?
No, I don't even. That's not even worth it.
I got Florida.
Florida.
They're going to win more by the Texas. They're going to win more than Texas Tech will win.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's hard to do, too.
Texas Tech
so they got to beat 472. The Fiesta Bowl, Oregon versus Kansas State. Jason, who you got?
High-powered offense of Oregon. Yeah, I'm a little under the weather too, Clay. That triple threat they got in the backfield between Mariona, Barner, and Thomas. Oregon's got it.
Yeah, Oregon will win this game convincingly. Kansas State does not put much of a fight.
Optimus Klein will not get the job done. I'm picking Oregon.
I don't even think Kansas State is that good. I'm going to go with Oregon. They'll definitely have the better uniforms, so I'll side with them. Now we're going to move into the one that everyone wants to talk about. The University of Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Pedro likes doing this little French accent.
Thanks, Napoleon. We appreciate that.
I don't have a cat in my mouth, so it's versus Alabama, the Alabama Crimson Tide with Nick Saban, the genius. Michael, who do you got in this game?
Well, I am not siding with the Catholics on this one. I am going to pick Alabama.
Alabama wins by 10 points. Notre Dame has a good defense, but Alabama has a better defense. And Alabama has a little bit better offense. And as a total team, Alabama has a better team than Notre Dame. They should win by 10.
In your opinion?
Yeah, they will win by 10.
I'm calling it.
Oh, yeah, that's my book. 10 points. Over and under, I'm going over 10. All right? They win by 10. That's a book.
It's like he wants to be wrong.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Well, SEC teams have won 6 straight BCS national championships, and I think the run's over. Notre Dame.
Oh. Go with the
touchdown,
Irish.
Jesus. I'm picking Notre Dame. I don't see any way they lose. Well, I could see anyway. I could see them losing the game, but it's not going to happen. In a year of where everything was meant to be for Notre Dame, they're going to continue to get it done. I think, basically, I trust Everett Golston to make some plays, and I think that's what it's going to take. You can't just rely on the defense. The offense is going to have to make some plays. I look for him to hit a couple deep balls, maybe to Theo Riddick. And I think they'll be able to run the ball in Alabama. I know everyone thinks Alabama's defense is so unstoppable, but it's not. We saw George move the ball on them very well. And Alabama's offense, they can run the ball, but you stop that and you keep them one-dimensional, they're in trouble. I think you can, though. I think Notre Dame's defense is good enough.
If there's a defense that can do it.
They have it would be Notre Dame. So I think Notre Dame's going to win. It'll be a close one. And
a low-scoring one.
12 national championships that'll be. They'll be back on top of the college football world. With all that, it was a great show. It was a nice first half of the year doing it with you guys. This will be our last show before Christmas, so happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and of course, Happy Hanukkah to our Jewish friends. Thank you for watching.
Last name ever, first name greatest. Like a sprained ankle, boy, ain't nothing to play with. Started off local, but thanks to all the haters, I know G4 pilots on a first name basis. In your city, faded off the brown. Nino, she insists she got more class. We know.